things are going to be vital in learning this class on how to draw. It may not make sense to you if you've never had a drawing class. It's going to appear very alien and it's very challenging. And it is just that, and I freely admit it, but it is vital to the learning process of drawing. Now, this may be what you think about, like last week when I asked you to draw a still life. Maybe you're looking for something like this, a better representation in that longer drawing that you did. A gesture drawing isn't even close to this. This is not what a gesture drawing is going to produce. A gesture drawing is going to start to teach you how to see. Now, it doesn't make sense to you that as an adult that you may not know how to see like I would as an artist, unless you've had extensive drawing classes. Now, these are from the Renaissance times. This is from Albert Dürer. When they were first learning about foreshortening, they would train themselves this way. You could see his paper down here. You could see a window screen here with thread through it, which corresponds to these squares exactly. And this is the subject matter here. So they drew according to the squares. And they used this sight line to help them. This is something that we'll be doing in the drawing class, that I'll be teaching you about sighting and about how to measure those and how that relates to your picture frame. These are things I've seen advertised on television, which this is a sighting tool that allows you to see this at the same time as this. And basically it's doing what this does up here, but in a more technological format. So these are tools and aids to help you to see. The idea is that you're conceptualizing space, that you're creating your own interpretation of space, volume, light, and shadow. And these are your own creations. They're not going to be aided by a camera, and they're not going to be aided by other devices other than you training your mind to see. In this, I want to talk about a little bit about neuroscience. So on this side here, you could see a representation of the visual cortex, the area in the brain responsible for processing the majority of the visual information. Over here, you could see the areas for the language areas, the Broca's area and the Wernicke area. These tend to dominate our thinking, language, if you think about how pervasive language is in your life, certainly in academic life. Vision is of different importance, but no less important than language. They are located in different areas of the brain. A lot of college learning, a lot of learning in general, is dominated by text, the written word, the spoken word. And it tends to dominate our brain activity and our thinking. The visual cortex is different. We're going to be emphasizing learning through the visual cortex, not through the language areas of the brain. And I don't want to oversimplify this other than to state much scientific research backs up what I'm saying and how I'm teaching this class. The difference between how we process visual information and how we process language information or text-based information. This was actually part of my undergraduate studies, not this in particular, because I wasn't an artist at the time, but I find it fascinating now to look at this stuff. Being a visual person and being a visual artist, how the different areas of the brain work. So these are some examples of some gesture drawings that this is not, which I'll get to. So number one is actually one that I did for another video. This is a 1-minute gesture drawing of the 5 objects that I had in my still life. This is another one. This probably represents a 1 to 2 minute gesture drawing. I could tell by the number of lines used, probably 1 minute. This one, they're drawing with the side of the tool, number 3. You can see how they delineate the mass by drawing with the side of the tool. and they threw in some lines to get to some contour lines. This is probably a 1 to 2 minute drawing also. Number 4 is a developed finished drawing, minimum of 20 minutes, maybe longer, maybe an hour. So this does not relate to at all what the gesture drawings are. I need your buy-in on this because it's very easy to cheat. These are not how I'm grading these is whether or not you can do them. I can't be there in the room with you to make sure that you're doing them correctly. That is, well, you know what correct means. Follow my directions. It's going to appear alien. It is very difficult, but it's training your mind in a non-verbal way to start to see and interpret what you see onto a two-dimensional surface. This will be the backbone of this class. We will repeat these exercises, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute gesture drawings on a regular basis. If you don't do them how I'm instructing, you're not going to be learning to your maximum. Okay, so please follow directions on these. They are going to be a consistent theme in this class.